In this segment, we're going to cover how to add a candidate into the Bullhorn system. So once you find a candidate that you would like to potentially contact for a job, you're going to want to put them into our system if they don't exist in our system already. So first, let's cover how to quickly search to find out if that candidate happens to be in the system already. So I'm logged into Bullhorn. Here you can see the basic Bullhorn screen. We need a candidate. So for ease of use today, we'll use famous people. We'll start with President Barack Obama. So here's President Obama's LinkedIn page. Let's go back and see if he is in our Bullhorn system. The easiest way to search quickly for a candidate in Bullhorn is to go up to the Find section here. And we want to enter the first 3 letters of his first name and the first 3 letters of his last name. B-A-R space O-B-A. And then you hit enter. No records found. So it appears that this candidate is not in our system. We would want to add them. So what we can do, we can close that. There's the add icon next to the find window here. Click on add. You should see a drop down. Go to candidate. Click on candidate. And it will open the add candidate screen. The first thing that we want to do is put in the candidate's name. First and last name are fine. If you have the middle initial, go ahead and put it in there, simply because we come across common names and a middle initial can differentiate in the system whether or not this is a different person. It's a small thing, but if you have it, great. If you don't worry about having to hunt for it. The next thing that you need to fill out when entering a candidate is their status. So click on the drop down here. You have a few different options. In this case, we're going to add this candidate directly to a tear sheet. So we're going to put them into tear sheet status. This is probably the best status to choose when you're putting in a new candidate. Most often they're going to be going to a tear sheet. So choose tear sheet. Their job title, for this we will call him a project architect. And we will say that he is with XYZ Architecture. The next piece of information that you need to enter with your candidates is their employee type. Most often they're going to be a W-2. These other types are typically used if they're B2B or if they're contract. So we'll go with W-2 here. The next space you need to fill in is the source. Where did we find this candidate? There's a lot of different options here. Oftentimes we will find them through different types of searches. This time we found them on LinkedIn. So go ahead and put LinkedIn there. Then we move down to the contact information section. In the contact information section, there's a couple of key pieces of information that need to be entered for every candidate. On a basic level, we want at least one email, one phone number, and then their city, state, country. Ideally, we'd like to have their personal email and maybe a mobile phone number. That's not always possible. So here's how you enter that information. So say his work email is Barack at xyzarch.com, and his personal is Barack at gmail.com. Now, you'll notice the primary email section up here. There needs to be an email in the primary email section. When you go to email a candidate from Bullhorn, it will be emailed to the primary email. If there's nothing in that section, it won't be able to email that candidate. So, because we have both a personal and a work email, I'm going to take the personal email, copy, and paste it right into the primary email. I'd rather reach out to a candidate on their personal email rather than a work email. It typically makes for better communication. Work phone. It's very easy to get a general work phone for a candidate. When you put that in, that's just the main phone number for whatever firm that they work for. If you have a mobile phone number, that's even better. or any kind of personal phone number. So that would certainly be preferred. In this case, we know that he is based in Washington, D.C. District of Columbia is listed under states even though it's not a state. So we've got his city, his state, and his country. We have emails and phone numbers. Contact information is looking good. Down in general information, there is one thing that you want to make sure you fill in, and it's the general candidate comments. In this section, we're going to want to put in their LinkedIn address. Alright, we're going to keep scrolling down to... Next, we're going to scroll down to the general information. In general information, next we're going to scroll down to general information. In the general information section, there's one thing that we definitely want to add, and it's under the general candidate comments section here. We want to put their LinkedIn profile link. And the reason we want to do this is because when you take a quick look at the candidate, it'll make sure that their LinkedIn profile comes up for whoever is looking at the candidate, and it will give them the ability to click through to that LinkedIn page. So let's go back to his LinkedIn page. You'll want to get the link. You'll notice that there's a really long link up here, and that's a search link. That means we searched for them by name, and so you have a super long URL up here. To make that shorter, a lot of times if you look at their profile right here, you can actually see their personalized profile link. So we'll click on that, and it gives us a much shorter, more manageable link. So we'll copy that. We'll take that back here. Get the cursor back in that box, and you'll see the little link symbol up here. Click on that. All you need to do is paste the LinkedIn link right here and click OK. Now you have an active link to the LinkedIn profile right there. That's all we really need to worry about in general information when you're entering a candidate. The next section, category and skills. This helps us in the search area. So under category, he was a project architect for XYZ architecture. That would make him fall under the architect category. Okay. Now in skills, there are certain skills that are already preloaded into the system. So say for instance in his LinkedIn profile it says he's good working with AutoCAD. We would go ahead and include that. You scroll down, you'll see a large number of different options in here. May also mention that he has a LEED certification and that he's a licensed architect. So these are things that you can include to help make it a little bit easier to search for this candidate later. You can also include additional skills. Say for instance, they happen to work on sports architecture and specialize in Major League Baseball ballpark design. You can put ballparks, or you can put sports arena. There's a number of things you can add there. This isn't a have to, these are kind of nice to haves here. One thing you do need to enter is in the resume section. Oftentimes we may not have a resume initially for a candidate, but we do have that LinkedIn page. So we go back to the LinkedIn page, scroll down to the bottom here, and just quickly highlight everything from the background area. Copy that. Take that and paste it right into the resume section. The reason this is important for us is it helps Bullhorn to search as well. So keywords that are included in that candidate's profile, they're often the keywords that helped us find them through whatever search we did online, will now be searched in Bullhorn when we're looking for candidates. So that's what we include in the resume section. Below the resume section, you'll notice that there are several places for links. the LinkedIn profile again. We'll go right there. If you have other social media sites or portfolios, which you'll often have, this is a great place to add those in. You don't have to. The LinkedIn is the minimum. But if you have them, great. Go ahead and add them. Gender, male, female, nice to have. We can continue on. You see add web response or submissions and distribution lists. You don't need to worry about these sections when you're adding a candidate. So let's take a quick look at everything we added. In the top section here we have name, status, their title and current company, employee type and source. The ownership will automatically be populated by whoever's entering the candidate. In the contact information section, we want at least one email and at least one phone number. Whatever email we have, we should definitely also add it to the primary email section, not just one, but both. So if you only have a work email, add it to work email and primary email. The preference, however, is always a personal email. Also add their city, state, and country. Continue down to general information. Make sure you add that LinkedIn link to the general candidate comments. Move on to category and skills. Cut and paste their LinkedIn section into the resume area. Add their LinkedIn link and any other social links down here, and you're good to go. At that point, click Save. And you have successfully added a candidate into Bullhorn.